Yo guys, welcome back to another video, and you're seeing my inventory and you're probably thinking, how did I get to this state? So yeah, you see that Monarch Kafka? Let me just show you what happened and I'll pull up the actual footage of me rolling the Monarch. Oh my days, no, I'm actually doing this. Let me get my auto clicker. I'm gonna have to farm more presents for shiny day next time. Yeah, that's where most of my reels come from. Uh, oh my days, double solo. I need early Monarch. Oh yes! Oh my days! Oh my days! So I'm sure you've seen the footage. So I did roll it pretty early, which means I still have a lot of rerolls for the update. I'm probably gonna roll a Monarch on, of course, Ichigo, and then depending who's good between Aizen and Ulquiorra, I'll probably roll in them as well. I'm hoping Ulquiorra is nature element because it means we can abuse this nature interaction with Rukia. There's not really any crazy nature units to really benefit off that, so haven't really been able to use it as much. And then for Trunks and Gohan, I guess the dual element. So I'm hoping the Spark and Blast. If they are Spark and Blast, that's even more upscale because Spark has some nice effect and Blast has a nice effect. So pretty much, you're probably thinking, why did I even roll? What's the name? Kafka. But I was in a predicament because, as you can see, the stage I had was a floor 92. Okay, I got flipping. It's not gonna be him, but my floor 92 was actually I had a Toji boss, so this boss over here was a Toji boss, and what it meant, yeah, is this stage was so difficult to clear solo. I needed like perfect timings. I needed a Monarch Kafka. You'll see me run a few times. I'll just show 3 runs of it. One run I tried to run the Ainz and Choi team for intense burn. I thought I had a decent amount of potential, but it wasn't enough. And then I ran my normal team with the Blitz Kafka, and I barely lost. And since I did not want to go through the effort of getting lucky with the crits on my Hibana and lucky with the crits on my Urza, I ended up opting out and just monarching my Kafka. And yeah, what's difficult about this boss is that the Toji boss, I have him twice, wave 10 and wave 20. At wave 20, he has 2 billion HP. What's difficult about him is that he can't be CC'd at all. So no slows work on him, no repulses work on him, no stuns, no freezes, none of that stuff works on him. Maybe Aizen's confusion works on him. I don't know. Maybe even that doesn't work as well. But pretty much the only things that can actually work on him is Bike and Pull, Law Pull, and Aizen's Wool. So you guys can understand why I ran my Ainz and Choi team. So I tried to pull him twice and non-stop. Yeah, I tried to like wither away at him by flipping non-stop using Choi to follow him from the start to the end. But yeah, it wasn't really enough. So you'll see, I'll play that run right now, and you'll see I'll go through my run and explain why I did it, and then after I'll show you guys my other run. I'll be failing with this team, but with the Blitz Kafka, and the final run where I actually cleared it. This stage was actually so stupid. I probably spent like a whole day on it. Yesterday was just Ainz and Choi. I was trying it, did not work. Today I got, I was procrastinating a bit. I was low-key putting off this stage for so long, but yeah, today I got it done, and yeah, I had to monarch my Kafka. So yeah, let's just get into this run, and I'll quickly showcase, I guess, my team and what I'm running on this. So let me just take it out for here. So as normal, I'm running Alucard with his Divinity Memoria and his Vanguard Familiar. Then power, I'm running this bird over here. It's very crazy, and then a Contagious Alucard Memoria, and then you guys know for Nami, it's just so normal. And then for Urza, I'm running this burb with decent crit damage and decent crit chance, nothing crazy. That's what I'm saying. I needed to gamble on this more if I wanted like even more. If I wanted to kill it off with the Blitz Kafka, but I was not gambling on it at all. I was not bothered to do that. So yeah. So yeah, this one with Contagious DOT amp. And then my Kafka, just to get her cost reduction as low as possible, I gave it a C3 chopper and a Jack of All on my Ice Queen's Rest. If I had another one like a Benny on this or an Alicon Memorial, I would have used that, but I don't. And then for my Hibana, I ran this C3 bird with you can see decent crit damage, crit chance, and decent range. And yeah, Contagious Duty amp. Normally I do have Irons in his team, but since Irons is normally my stunner and this boss can't be stunned, he just kicked out the team. So yeah, I'll show you my run with the Irons and Troy team, and then I'll show you my run with this actual team and how I was able to win it. So yeah, this is the Irons and Troy run. I ran Champions and Revitalize, and yes, the clip is in 2x speed because you know it's gonna be a long time. If I play the whole clip plus the clips for the other two runs, this video would easily stretch for 30 minutes, and I ain't trying to have that happen. So yeah, you can see we're just farming as normal. What's annoying about this Irons and Troy team is that I just don't know. I wasn't able to get enough damage, you know. I just was not able to get enough damage. So yeah, I put Apocalypse on my Irons, so he has intense burn. I placed this law, set him to see his zone 3, and I set him to last. And now I place my Smith and then my 4 Troys at the edge of the map, so they're not interfering and they're speeding up the ticks. This is allowing Irons to, of course, kill off these enemies at the front. And pretty much any enemy that does spawn is going to be killed off regardless by Irons. The main issue would be though, is that wave 10 boss and the final boss. Because as you guys do know, the wave 10 boss has like 490 million HP, and then the wave flipping 20 boss has flipping 2 billion. So you'll see my run. Irons does not struggle at all until later on. You'll see what I mean. He has a good amount of base damage as well. And what's nice is that when Toadie does his little stun attack, it's also buffing Irons, so he's getting 40% more damage. Because when Irons resists a debuff or stats effect, he just becomes stronger, which is nice. But you can see these enemies are not leaking past a single point now. And Irons is only at like 1 mil base damage, so yeah, it's kind of crazy. I also have Vanguard Sanju at the back for his summons. So yeah, we're getting a bit of extra damage from the summons, and the reason he's there is because the unknown slot for Irons. We need 2 fire units and an unknown unit, so yeah, Vanguard Sanju just fits that slot perfectly. Yeah, I'm doing my Smith buffs now, putting 2 ranges on my Bicons and speed 1 on my Law, and now you can see I put the Dragon Slayer on my Irons, and now we're trying to make sure we're trying to kill this boss. So once he approaches Law, I upgrade Law and set him to zone 1 so I can pull the boss back. So he pulls the boss back, and I switch him back to zone 3, set him back to last, and prioritizing the yen on my Irons. And now at this point, the next intense burn that was applied, I did use my choice to follow this boss. So you can see how much damage he's losing. He's losing like 3 to 4 million every few seconds. Now, what's nice about Irons and Choi? Yes, Ace is like, I guess, optimal because he's cheaper. But what's nice about Irons and Choi is you also get the ghost from Irons, meaning you have extra 10 seconds of someone, another Choi, with the ghost actually speeding up the ticks as well. So you can see here, I'm just following him until the end of the path. And we've done a lot of damage already, you know, he's at 280 million only. And now we just let the ticks go off, and you'll see the mini nuke on him. And boom, he just dies. He just dies. See, we accumulated so much damage onto him that the intense one just killed him off like that. And yeah, this is where the main issue does come up. It's the final boss. He has a lot of HP, 2 billion to be exact. So yeah, I sell my army off to collect the chest. And ideally I wanted to put an upgrade into my irons, but I had not enough yen. I had no yen. There was nothing I could do about it. Because I needed enough yen to follow the boss. So yeah, the first time the boss goes round with the law, I do not follow with choice at all. This is mainly because it might interfere, and you know how the unit placements with a lot of enemies as well, it just messes up. And with the fact that the boss is going to be pulled back, my choice won't be consistently attacking the boss and might mess up my targeting. So yeah, I switch the boss back, and now these choice I start moving them. And the next intense burn inflicted, I follow the choice. You can see he has 2.15 billion HP. So here we're just spam clicking, you know, spam setting and replacing. Making sure we just keep doing this. And whenever he gets to the edge of our Bicon's range, we pull him back. And we just do the same shit again. See, pull him back, the same shit, you know. Following with our choice. And any unit that is not Choi just gets sold off. I even eventually still love my irons, because he just needs to inflict the first intense burn tick, and from there his damage is irrelevant. So he's just a waste of slot at that point. So you see, I'm just following, I'm following. I sell my irons to get a bit of yen, and just keep following, you know, just spam replacing. I place my irons in here as well for the ghost, and you can see we're already taken off like 200 million off him as well. That's pretty much the same as the last boss, and you can see how much damage we're doing to him. You know, we're doing a lot of damage, you know. Just spam replacing until we run out of yen. So I did that. I sold everyone. I made until I got the last trillion, and it did nothing. I lost. And yeah, that was it for that run. I'll show you my next one and what happened with that one. And yeah, okay, we're here. Same thing. Champions and Revitalize, and now we're here with my DOT team. So this is the team I've been running for the whole of Elemental Towers. And yeah, it's been pretty much my go-to team. But you will see how I set up in here. I need to maximize placements like crazy. So yeah, you can see I place my Urza quite far back as well. Place my Alucard around here as soon as the enemies enter range. And I place another Urza back here as well. And I need the Urza at the back to get her meter up, so I let the enemies leak slightly, just to fulfill the requirement of filling her meter up. So it's slightly a lot that goes into this run. But yeah, it's annoying that this run was not able to kill the boss off. And it did leak with a slightly, like, a small amount of HP, but, you know, I did not want to bother with the flipping pain and effort of doing it again, so I just monarched my Kafka. So you'll see here how this one goes. So the wave 10 boss won't be an issue as well, because as you guys do know, this TOT team demolishes anything, you know. It's so stupid. The only boss that can actually give this team or trouble is this boss over here, Toji boss, and of course the Ginyus. But Ginyu is a different case. He gives any team in the game trouble. But if you watch my previous video, which was the Infinite Store team, you can easily kill Ginyu as long as you're with other players. So yeah, let me just put that video on screen if you haven't seen it. Yeah, you can see, so it got a decent amount of views. If you guys haven't seen it, just go watch it. I was able to kill a 2 billion Guinea boss, of course with the help of another person, but of course that isn't a soloable stage. So even as a duo, clearing that is kind of crazy. And yeah, you can see that run. I was even AFK for half the run, but yeah, I was able to kill that boss off pretty easily. So yeah, if you guys want to watch that video. It was a pretty good showcase of the team that you could run, and I think I left like a little part, I don't know what point of time it was, but an optimal team for like a sort of 4-man Omni Tower team. And yeah, pretty much other than Toji and Ginyu, every boss in the game should be easy. But since you see me doing this much damage to a Toji boss by myself, imagine if you bring other people, you can easily kill this as well. Someone brings Baiken, someone brings Law, you can pull the boss back a few times, should be easier, you know what I mean? But yeah, now I'm just making sure I get this Urza in the middle upgraded, so each of the, she has all the units in her range, mainly the Kafka Urza and the other Urza on the right. That way I can give them extra 20% range through this Urza, and of course, give them a slight cost reduction. So I need to do one more upgrade on the Urza. I've put too much money to it, you know. So now I'm placing, and not placing, but I'm upgrading my Kafka, making sure that she hits the bend as well. And I want all my units to hit the bend. And I'll upgrade this Urza as well, and you can see I'm covering so much pathing this time. My power is so far back, so when she goes into demon form, she's also getting 20% range or 10% range, I can't remember. So she's also going to be contributing and covering the whole path as well. There's so much that's going into this run, and what? The sad thing is that it just was not enough. So it is sad, but yeah, I was able to get so much out of it, so yeah. Keep watching and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, see this boss? I'm just following him with my Hibanas. That's all I have to do mainly. And you see each Hibana is like flipping, that one did 20 million to him. But yeah, they do a lot of damage, you know, the Hibanas. So now I need to replace my flipping Kafka, so I please replace my Kafka here. And it did get stunned, and that's the one thing that is annoying about this boss. His stun. If you did not stun, guarantee you I would not need to have a Monarch Makafka, and I would have had an easy time with this boss. But yeah, as you can see, I got him so low, and the fact that it wasn't enough to kill him was so annoying. And I had to sell all the units at the back. I upgraded my power at the back, placed my Kafka and upgraded my Alucard, and it was not enough. And that's pretty much it for this run. I'll show you the final run, which is the one where I actually beat it. Okay, yeah, so final segment, same exact start. Pretty much all the same things happen again. It's just we have a Monarch Kafka now, and that helps me a lot. You will see that at the same point as last game, the boss will be at a weaker state, so it does contribute a lot. But since I was monarching Kafka, I had to move my units slightly more left, and I could not utilize my range, my Urzas as much. You see what I mean? But you can see the setup we're going for. Before last game, our placements were like slightly further apart, but this time they're more compact and close together. So I'm not wasting too much yen on my Urzas. And yeah, that's important because we need yen for our Hibana reapplies, moving her across. We need enough yen to max Kafka as well. And her max damage is like 1.6 million. So her bleed damage is like 30% of that, which is like 480k. So 30% of that is 480k, roughly with the seized. So 50% more. We're looking at maths is not mathsing. Yo, 720k. 720k bleed damage. Yeah, I think 720k bleed damage. Yeah, that's pretty much what she's doing. So it's nothing crazy, but you know, when Urza reapplies that and then Hibana reapplies, I mean, Urza's not actually reapplying, but when Urza turns that into a burn and Hibana reapplies that as a burn, well, reapplies the burn, and then she detonates it, in the long run, it does add up in a bit of extra damage. So it's nothing crazy, but it's enough to make a difference for me to win the stage by myself. It is a very hard stage, bro. Most people won't clear this solo. It took a lot of focus, and yeah. I'm on Kafka as well, so stupid. I did not want to waste my views on it, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is, bro. What can I say about it? So yeah, here I'm just moving my Urza, not my Urza, my Hibanas and my Kafka. And yeah, you can see this boss. That's up pretty easily. Wave 10 boss, no issues at all. And the next boss is where things get difficult. Because he has 2.15, 2.2. Crazy work. See, I'm placing my Kafka back there. And low-key, I was thinking, do I leave it on 6.3 SPA? So I'm not maxing her, but leaving it on that upgrade. Because low-key, with Toji doing that stun, it could actually be decent for SPA. So she gets stunned for 3 seconds, and she attacks. And low-key, it could actually be decent for near perfect uptime. But yeah, I was like, you know what, let me just max it. I got the yen for it, I'll just max it. The difference from those two upgrades are like barely any, so I just maxed it. Yeah, now every unit is maxed, and now it's just focus spot. We just have to sell and replace our Hibanas and just non-stop follow. It was like 1.8 million damage, so maths was a bit off, but yeah, it's roughly like 900 bleed damage from just Kafka alone. No, yeah, Kafka alone. And yeah, here we go. You can see 2.27 billion, and we just have to follow it to the ends of the earth, mate. To the ends of the earth. But you can see here, it's at 1.6, 1.5. It's already taken so much damage. And you see at the same point, he is slightly lower. Before he was at like 1 billion right here. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, you can see he's getting killed off. And now any units who are not attacking, I just move them. And I make sure to move my Alucard ASAP so I can keep the wounded up. Because if I move my what's her name? Hibana's first, I would have applied Scorched. And you can see we got the boss very low. Nearly killed him within the range. Since he's slow, the run's done, and that's it for the video. Like and subscribe. If you got any ideas what you want to do for the video, let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.